Hey guys, so we are going to be going over the Unit 4 triangles review. So let's go ahead and get started. It says if two sides of a triangle are 7 and 13, which of the following could not be the length of the third side? So we're going to start with doing this third side inequality first. So remember, on the small side we have to subtract or find the difference. On the other side we have to add the two numbers. So we're going to have 13 minus 7 and then 13 plus 7. So that means our third side has to be in between the values of 6 and 20. Okay, so 20 is not less than 20, so that could not be a third side. 9 is in between, 16 is in between, and 7 is in between. So it has to be a 20. All right, this next one, we did it in class, but list the angles in order from smallest to largest. So the smallest angle is always going to be across from your shortest side. So across from our shortest side is that angle Y. Then across from our middle side length is Z, and then our largest angle is 10. So we're going to have YZX, which is answer choice D. Okay, number 3. So number 3 says in ABC at the right, FC is, so if we look at FC, we have this part right here. The only thing we know about FC is that it cuts AB in half. So AF is congruent to FB. So that means that FC has to be a median. It cuts the other side in half. All right, this next one is looking at AD. So AD is this line here. It tells us that these two angles are congruent. It doesn't tell us anything about the side BC or any other angles. So the only thing that AD is an angle bisector. All right. It says which of the following could not be the three sides of a triangle? So remember, the two sides always have to add up to be bigger than the third side. So we're going to take the two smallest sides, 4 and 11. It has to be greater than 15. 4 and 11 equals 15. It is not greater than 15, so that means that A could not be the three sides of a triangle. Okay, and then we have to do 10 plus 4. So 10 plus 4 is greater than 12, so that checks out. 5 plus 2 is greater than 6, so that checks out. And 7 plus 7 is greater than 7, so that checks out. So the only answer for that one is A. Number 6, if a triangle has angles of measures x plus 11, 2x plus 10, and 5x minus 9, classify the triangle by its sides. So we're going to have x plus 11 plus 2x plus 10 plus 5x minus 9. And since this is the three sides of a triangle, we are going to set it equal to 180. So we're going to combine our like terms, x, 2x, and 5x. It's going to give us 8x. Then we're going to have 11 plus 10 minus 9, and that's going to give us 12. And that is equal to 180. So we're going to subtract 12. 8x is equal to 168. So 168 divided by 8 is going to give us x equals 21. Then we have to plug this back in. So we're going to have 21 plus 11 is 32. And then we'll have 2 times 11 plus 10, which is, oh, I'm sorry, it was 2 times 21. It's going to be 52. And then 5 times 21 minus 9. So 5 times 21 minus 9 is going to give us 96. So since we have 3 different angle measures, that means we have 3 different side lengths, which means this is a scalene triangle. All right. Number 7, in an isosceles triangle with vertex C. A lot of y'all asked if it matters where C is. The answer is yes. Vertex C has to be at the top and these two parts have to be equal. And then we're going to have A and B as our bases. So it says AB is 4x plus 4, BC is 8x plus 3, and CA is 7x plus 9. So since we know that these two sides are congruent, we're going to have to set them equal to each other. 7x plus 9 equals 8x plus 3. We're going to subtract 7x from both sides and subtract 3 from both sides. So x is equal to 6. Then find the length of AB. So 4 times 6 plus 4 is going to give us 28. So AB equals 28. All right, AC is a median. So if AC is a median, it means it cuts this in half, so those two parts are equal. So 3x plus 11 equals 7x minus 5. If we subtract 3x from both sides and add 5 to both sides, we're going to get 4x equals 16, so x equals 4. Then it asks us to find the perimeter, so we're going to plug that back in. So we're going to have 6 times 4 plus 1, 3 times 4 plus 11, 7 times 4 minus 5, and 7 times 4 plus 4. So all of those numbers, change colors here, we're going to have 25, 23, 23, and 32. So our total is going to come to 103. So our total perimeter is 103. All right, BD is an angle bisector. So BD bisects this angle. So that means angle 2 is equal to angle 5. So up top it says that angle 2 is 6x plus 1 and 5 is 7x minus 4. So we're going to set those two things equal to each other. So subtract 6x, subtract 6x, add 4, add 4. We're going to get, oops, cross that one out, cross the wrong one. X equals 5. So when we plug that back in, angle 2 is going to be 6 times 5 plus 1, which is 31. So angle 2 is 31. Angle 5 is 7 times 5 minus 4. So 7 times 5 is 35 minus 4 is 31. And they are equal to each other, which is exactly what we want. Then angle 3 is 12x minus 8. So 12 times 5, plus 8, sorry. So that's going to be 68. From there, we know that angles 1, 2, and 3 add up to 180. So if we do 180 minus 68 minus 31, we're going to get angle 1 is 81 degrees. Then we also know that 3 and 4 are supplementary because they are on a straight line. So 180 minus 68 is going to give us angle 4, which is 112. Then we're going to have angle 6. We know that 4, 5, and 6 should add up to 180 because they were the three angles in a triangle. So 180 minus 112 minus 31 gives us 37. So angle 1 is 81, 2 is 31, 3 is 68, 4 is 112, 5 is 31, and 6 is 37. All right, moving on to number 10. Number 10 is a little bit tricky. These two angles create this whole big angle in the big triangle. So the measure of that angle can be represented by 3y. We also know that this angle is congruent to the 3y because it's a nice isosceles triangle. So that means we're going to have 3y plus 54, and that is all going to equal 180 because that is the three angles in our triangle. So we're going to get 6y. Then we're going to have to subtract 54 to the other side, which is 126. Then when we divide by 6, we're going to get y equals 21. So y equals 21. Y also equals 21 here because that is also an isosceles triangle. So to find x, we're going to take 180 and subtract 21 twice. So that means the measure of x comes out to be 138. All right, we have an exterior angle and two interior non-adjacent angles. So the exterior angle is equal to the non-adjacent interior angles added together. So 31x plus 64 is equal to 47x. Gonna have to subtract 31x from both sides. 64 is equal to 16x. And then the answer, divide by 16, and x is 4. All right, on these ones, we're going to change these up here. We're going to change it to GR, GL, and LR. So what we're going to do is graph our triangle first. So we are going to have G, which is at 7, 3. Then we have R at -1, -5, and L, which is at -5, 1. So here is our triangle. So we have G over here, R, and L. So the first one says to find the median. So the median is going to be the point that cuts GR in half, which is the same thing as our midpoint. So we're going to be finding the midpoint of GR. So using our midpoint formula, we're going to have x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. So G and R, we're going to have 7 plus -1 over 2 and 3 plus -5 over 2 for a final median point of 3, -1. Then for GL, we're going to be using these 2 points up top. So we're going to have 7 plus -5 over 2 and 3 plus 1 over 2, which is going to give us the coordinate point of 1, 2. And then on our last one, we are going to be using L and R. So -1 plus -5 over 2 and -5 plus 1 over 2. So we're going to have -6 over 2, which is -3. Then we're going to have -4 over 2, which is -2. So your median point is going to be -3, -2. All right. Now we are trying to find the slope of the line perpendicular. This is going to be the same triangle. So we have G, R, L up here. So in this triangle, we are trying to find the slope of the line perpendicular. We did GR together in class. On this one, we just counted. We said the slope from R to G, we're going up 6, 7, 8. So we're rising 8, and then we're going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the slope of GR is 1. So the perpendicular slope is going to be -1. All right, then we have to do the slope of a line perpendicular to GL. So if we look at GL, it looks like it rises 2, and then it goes to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 2 over 12, which is 1/6. So that means that this perpendicular slope is going to be -6. Okay, then we're going to have the slope of the line perpendicular to LR. So LR, we're going to go down, so it's going to be a negative slope. So it's -1, -2, -3, 4, 5, 6. So -6. Then we're going to go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is going to reduce to -3 over 2. So that means that our perpendicular slope is going to be positive 2/3. All right, we should have all talked about this one in class. We have 0, 0, 6, 0, and 6, -7. The intersection of our altitudes is at the right angle, so it's going to be at 6, 0. All right, number 19 is an equilateral triangle, so find the perimeter. So before we can find the perimeter, we have to solve for x. So we're going to have 7x plus 1 equals 4x plus 7. You can pick any two sides to set equal to each other. It really doesn't matter. They should all solve to give you the same thing. So we're going to subtract 4x from both sides, -1, -1. So we're going to have 3x equals 6, so x equals 2. Okay, so we can plug this back in. We're going to have 7 times 2 plus 1. 4 times 2 plus 7. 13 times 2 minus 11. When you calculate any of those, you're going to get 15, 15, and 15. So the total perimeter is going to be 15 plus 15 plus 15, which is 45. All right, we have an equilateral triangle. So angle Q is 7x minus 3, and T is 4y plus 4. So then what we're going to do is we're going to have 7x minus 3. Since it's an equilateral triangle, we know that all the angles are equal to 60 degrees. And we're going to have 4y plus 4 equals 60 degrees. So we're just going to solve like normal. 7x equals 63. 4y equals 56. Divide by 7, we're going to get 9. Divide by 4, and we're going to get 14. So x equals 9 and y equals 14. Again, this would be a great question to set up as a system. So make sure you know how to solve systems. All right, the perimeter of MKL is 127. 127. MK is 15 less than 7 times x. So we're going to have 7x minus 15. We're going to have KL is 5 less than 4 times x, so 4x minus 5. And then ML is 42 less than 10 times x, so 10x minus 42. All of these sides added together are going to give you your perimeter, so that means 127 is going to be equal to 7x minus 15 plus 4x minus 5 plus 10x minus 42. So if we combine our like terms, we'll have 7, 4, and 10x, which is 21x. We're going to have 15, -5, and 42. So that's going to be minus 62. So add 62 to both sides. 21x equals 189. So divide by 21, and we're going to get x equals 9. From there it says find x and classify the triangle by its sides. So we have to look at our side lengths here. So we're going to plug 9 into all 3 side lengths. So if we plug 9 in, we're going to have 7 times 9 minus 15, which is 48. We're going to have 4 times 9 minus 5, which is 31. And then we're going to have 10 times 9 minus 42, which is 48. So since we have two of the same length, this is going to be an isosceles triangle. All right, on 22, we have midsegments. So these midsegments are going to be half of the side that they are parallel to. So since they are half of them, we're going to multiply them by 2. So 25 times 2 is going to give us 50 over here. 22 times 2 is going to give us 44 over here. Then we're going to have to solve with our 4x and our 5x minus 34. So we're going to multiply our midsegment times 2 and set it equal to our outside base. So 2x plus 8 equals 5x minus 34. So subtract 2x, add 34. We're going to get 42 equals 3x, and then x is going to equal 14. So when we plug 14 back in over here, we're going to have 14 times 5 minus 34, which comes out to be 36. So our final thing is find the total perimeter. So 36 plus 44 plus 50 for a final answer of 130. All right, on number 23, this is a midsegment, so we know that these two lines are parallel, which means we have a transversal right here, and then these two angles are going to be same side interior, which means they are supplementary. So 5x minus 24 plus 8x plus 9 equals 180. So we're going to have 13x minus 15 equals 180. 13x is going to equal 195. So 195 divided by 13 is going to be 15. All right, on this one, this unlabeled angle is going to be supplementary with 62. So 180 minus 62 is 118. Then we're just going to look at this triangle here. We're going to do 180 minus 118 and 34. So 180 minus 118 and 34. X is going to be 28. All right, you guys, that should be just about it. If you would like to do the extra credit quizzes, I will write the codes here. You will also have time in class to do them on Friday, so you can do them then. If you have anything to retake, you can do it in class on Friday as well. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving break.